everyone, welcome back to 4 weeks challenge. Yes, you heard it right. This is a 4 weeks challenge, and trust me on this, you are going to be fluent by the end of 4 weeks. But you have to put in efforts, you have to practice. Only if you follow all my advice, all my practice sessions, and if you dedicatedly practice it for 4 weeks continuously. So guys, get ready to take this challenge and improve your English speaking skills. Are you ready for it? Can you be a little louder? Yes, that's the spirit. I like it. I am sure if you follow all my sessions, if you follow all my practice sessions, all my conversation series, you are definitely going to be confident and fluent in speaking English at the end of 4 weeks. Give it a try, guys. There's no harm in trying. Give it a try. Dedicate yourself for 4 weeks challenge to see the difference, to see if it works for you or not. And I'm sure definitely it is going to work for you. You will improve a lot. On that note, guys, welcome back to my channel. I am your communications coach and a soft skill trainer by profession, and I'm here to help you out with all your communications problems and to help you speak English fluently and confidently. So guys, today I'm going to talk about listening. Listening is a very important part of learning to speak English. Everything starts with listening. I'll tell you later in the video how it is, why listening is so important, how you should plan listening, and of course, how you can practice listening, how listening can help you in becoming fluent in English, which is very important. So I'm going to touch all these topics and talk about all these things in this video. Probably this will become a little longer video, so I'll try to put it in 2 parts so that it's easier and convenient for you to understand everything. Too much knowledge in one video will definitely be difficult for you to absorb. So that is why I'll make it easier for you, simpler for you, so that it's easier for you to understand what I'm trying to say. It's easier for you to understand and practice it. So if you want to improve your English communication skills, you want to know more about English practice sessions, conversation topics, formats, and many other things, do subscribe my channel, like and share my videos, and do write your comments in the comment section. And don't forget to press the notification icon. So let's get started with today's session. Today I'm going to talk about listening. Why is listening important? What is the relation between listening and speaking? That is very important. Once you understand the relation between listening and speaking, it will be easier for you to understand its importance. And then definitely you are going to understand how you can improve your speaking skills or your English communication skills through listening. It will guide you towards that. Of course, I understand whenever you listen to any foreign language, if you try listening to French or Spanish or German, if you're listening Kannada or Telugu or Bengali, right, or Marathi, you will not understand anything because that is a foreign language for you. That is not your mother tongue, right? So you'll not understand. And it's the same case with English. English is also a foreign language. So many people have this opinion that how listening can help, right? If you listen to a Bangla or a Kannada or a Telugu or a Marathi or any French or Spanish or German, we don't understand anything. So if you don't understand, how will we speak, right? True. You will not understand it immediately. So what you have to do is you have to keep on listening. You have to make it a point that you keep on listening and trying to understand. Develop a habit of trying to understand. The curiosity. Be little curious to learn. Pick up words. Try to find out meaning. Try to understand what it means in that sentence. Right? Now, it will not happen immediately. This is a process. This is a flow. This will take time. I'll give you an example, a very good example, and I'll give you a background also. Why English is easier for you to understand and listen and speak. So the first things first, English is a language which we all are familiar with, right? Unlike Bangla or French or Spanish or German or Kannada or Telugu or Malayalam, which is not our mother tongue, or probably Hindi for some people, right? So, unlike these languages, English is not a foreign language for us. We are very familiar with English in India at least. Why? Because it is a medium of communication in schools and colleges, right? Whichever school we are in, whether it is a local or regional board, we have one paper which is in English, right? So we know A, B, C, D. We know how to read a sentence. We know how to understand basic and general sentences. We know how to read a book. What we may not understand is every single word. We may not understand how to construct a proper sentence. We may not understand how to speak what is in our mind, or whatever we have been asked a question, we will not be able to reply it properly. That is the only challenge which we face here. I am sure about it. So, we are not it is not a foreign language for us. We are at least familiar with English. We know how to read English. We know how to comprehend or how to understand. We understand sentences, simple sentences at least. We understand some vocabulary, basic English we understand. But yes, some advanced vocabularies or some words which are very less often used, we don't understand. So that is the challenge which we face right now. So on this basis, we are either at the beginner level or the intermediate level or at the advanced level. Now, in all three cases, listening is very important. If you don't do anything, if you practice listening also for a month, that is definitely going to bring a big change in your English. I'm not talking about your speaking English, but your English knowledge. Now, what I mean by English knowledge, if you continuously listen to things in English for a month, what will happen is you will get to know a lot of words, new words or vocabulary. If something comes repeatedly in front of you, if you listen to something repeatedly, continuously, definitely maybe on day 1 you will not understand that, but on day 5 you might start understanding that word. That word might get registered in your brain, and you will start understanding and knowing that word, getting familiar with that word. And there are lots of such words which you will get familiar with in a month. The best part of English is 80% of the spoken English is very simple. The same words, the same things are spoken repeatedly and continuously. So if you listen, only practice listening for a month, you will get to know a lot of words, you will get to know the meanings, you will get to know how the sentences are constructed, how you can speak about something, right? So you get to know a lot of things. You get familiar with the language, with the structure, with the words, with the vocabulary, with the tone, intonation, a lot of things, guys. You will get familiar with the language and you'll start understanding the language, which is very important. So that is why listening is very important to start understanding the language and knowing more about the language. So once you start exploring the language, once you start knowing more about the language, so in this way you are getting familiar with the language, okay? And your brain will also start getting more and more involved. So wherever you listen anything in English, your attention will go there and you will start recognizing the language, and you start recognizing, your brain will start translating it or recognizing the language and making you understand what it means, right? So this is how listening works. I'll give you a very good example of listening. Have you ever wondered how a child learns to speak? A 2-year-old or 2.5-year-old, how that kid learns to speak? That kid doesn't know ABCD or Kakha Gaga of Hindi also. The child doesn't know anything. How he or she starts speaking? Just by listening. Just by listening, the child starts speaking. He or she doesn't have the basic knowledge of that language. The alphabets, the kid doesn't know the alphabet. He's never gone to school, right? But in our case, we have gone to school, we know ABCD, we know the sentences, and we understand English also. It's just that we can't speak. So it's the opposite with us. But if you see a kid, how does that kid start speaking? It's very interesting, right? Just by looking and listening to people around him or her, the kid starts grasping things. This kid starts recognizing the words, and at the end, he or she starts speaking slowly and gradually. It's the same with us. We all are human beings. Our brains are programmed the same way, like the kid. So we can also do this by listening and hearing things repeatedly. We will also start understanding the language in the same way the kid understands and starts speaking words and then sentences, words and then 2-3, then chunks of words, and then he or she starts speaking the sentences. So it is a journey. It takes time. It will take time for you as well, but it will be easier for you because you understand English. You have the basic concept of English, right? So take this example and understand the science behind it. So once you start listening to all these things in English, once you start immersing yourself in English, dedicating a time to English listening, you will get familiar with the language and you will start understanding the words which you haven't understood on day one. So if you, for a whole month, if you completely dedicate to listening, it is definitely going to change the whole perspective. You are going to understand English better. You are going to know a lot of new words, vocabulary, how the words are spoken, how the sentence structure is, right? The tone, the intonation, the pitch, everything you will get to know. And that is the basic thing you need to learn before speaking a language, right? Your mother tongue is different. Your English is different. Other languages are different. They have a different tone. They're spoken in different tones. If you speak something in Hindi, in the same tone, if you speak English, you know what I mean. It will sound so funny, right? So that is why we have to listen to English so that we get familiar with the tone, the intonation, the rhythm, and everything else in which that language is spoken. And in this way, listening helps us. It builds a base for us to speak or practice speaking and getting better at speaking in English. So that is why listening is so important. And I've given you an example also how a kid starts speaking without knowing the grammar, without knowing the basic foundations or alphabets of the language. So we can also do it. We need to dedicate time to listening, which is very important. Whether we are a beginner or intermediate or advanced, we have to give time to listening. We have to listen something or the other in English every single day. Okay, watch a movie in English if you have time. If you don't have time, watch anything in English. Watch one episode of any of your favorite series. Watch a movie clip. Watch a cooking show. Watch a commentary in English. Watch any podcast in English. Watch any travel vlog in English. There are lots of things, guys. Choose your interest. Whatever you are interested in, choose that topic and just listen to something in English. You can listen to a celebrity, right? Celebrity talk show. I always give example of Coffee with Karan. Start watching that. It's fun, guys. Right? Start watching comedy shows. There are lots of Indian comedians who speak in English, whose episodes are in English. Veer Das. Many more. There are lots more. If you want me to come up with the names, I will definitely give you the names. But it's just that, in comedy and everything, the sports or any other thing, everybody has their own particular choice, right? So you browse, you have everything in your hands, guys. It's only on your fingertip. Browse your favorite content and start watching that. It's not difficult at all. It's not at all difficult, guys. Start watching things in English. Whatever you like, whatever your interest is, whatever your hobby is, whatever you are interested in watching, watch it in English. Maybe at least for sometimes you watch it in English. And if you're not very comfortable in the beginning, of course, you will not enjoy that. So watch it in your mother tongue, but dedicate a specific time, like half an hour or 15 minutes. I'm going to watch it in English. Okay, so do that. So following up with your mother tongue, it will be easier for you to understand also, and it will be more interesting also for you. Okay, so do this, start practicing this, start making a habit of listening. If you are in an intermediate stage, of course, I'm sure you will enjoy that. Okay, and advanced, of course, you will definitely enjoy that. So start getting into the practice of listening. It's really going to help you a lot, guys. Trust me on this. So guys, that's it for today. I'm going to come up with another session wherein I'm going to speak in more detail about how you can practice listening, and of course some resources from YouTube which are very interesting. So I'll give you some references from YouTube also, what you can do, how you can practice that, so that it's easier for you to understand the language. Because if you choose a difficult one, it will not do any good. If you start listening to a UK accent or US accent, if you are at a beginner level or probably an advanced level, it's not gonna work for you. You will not learn anything, guys. The whole time your focus will be in understanding the accent, not the language. So that is why in the next session, I'm going to talk to you about what things you can listen to for every stage. Okay. And I'll definitely make it simple and easy for you. See you until next time. Till then, keep watching, keep learning, keep practicing, and keep exploring. See you. Bye-bye.